Friday, October 24th. Salem reaches the end of a chaotic week, but peace is nowhere in sight. Secrets have been exposed, alliances fractured, and hearts pushed to breaking point. Now, the dust begins to settle, only to reveal what's been buried beneath. Today isn't about rumors or speculation. It's about truth, the kind that destroys, the kind that heals, and the kind that refuses to stay hidden. From hospital corridors to DiMera offices, from whispered confessions to shattered hearts, Salem is about to face the fallout of everything it tried to avoid. Because on this day, nobody escapes the truth. And once it comes out, nothing, and no one, will ever be the same again. At the Kuriaki's mansion, silence fills the air, heavy, suffocating, alive. The storm outside mirrors the one raging inside, as Sarah Horton Kuriakis stands before Xander, her arms trembling though she refuses to show it. The truth has finally cornered him. He attacked Philip Kuriakis, and now, every lie he's told has collapsed under the weight of reality. "Tell me why," she demands, voice sharp but breaking. "Was it revenge? Ego? Or just another mess you thought I'd clean up for you?" Xander's bravado cracks. His shoulders slump. The mask of control he's worn for years begins to crumble. "I was trying to protect you," he whispers. "If you knew what I'd done, you'd walk away." Sarah's eyes glisten, not with pity, but disappointment that cuts even deeper. "You were right," she says softly. "You lied to protect me, and all it did was prove I can't protect myself from you." She slides her wedding ring from her finger, slowly, deliberately. The sound as it touches the mantle is faint, yet it echoes through the entire room like thunder. "Love isn't a shield, Xander," she whispers. "It's a choice. And you made yours." He reaches for her, desperate, broken. "Sarah, please," but she turns away, her silence louder than any goodbye. When the door closes behind her, Xander's reflection in the firelight splits, half in light, half in shadow. Because for him, redemption isn't about forgiveness anymore. It's about surviving the wreckage of the only woman who ever believed he could change. Over at Sweet Bits Bakery, the scent of fresh bread lingers, but the sweetness feels hollow. Chanel Dupree wipes the counter again and again, not because it's dirty, but because it keeps her hands busy. Across from her, Johnny DiMera sits, his coffee untouched, eyes distant. "You ever get the feeling we're being watched?" he asks quietly, his tone half joking, half afraid. Chanel glances toward the window, the street beyond dimly lit, empty yet somehow alive. "In this town?" she murmurs. "Always." She tries to smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. The tension between them hums like static, the blackout, the hospital chaos, EJ's games, everything feels connected, but no one dares to say it. Johnny exhales, rubbing the back of his neck. "I just don't want to lose this. You, me, what we built. It feels like every time we get close, something tries to tear us apart." Chanel sets her rag down and reaches for his hand. "We've been through worse, Johnny. We'll survive this too." But as their fingers intertwine, a flicker of movement catches her eye. A shadow passes across the bakery window, quick, deliberate, watching. She stiffens. Johnny notices the change in her face. "What is it?" "Nothing," she lies. But her gaze doesn't leave the glass. Because in Salem, love is never just between two people. Every whisper becomes leverage. Every secret becomes a weapon. Outside, the wind howls softly against the door. Inside, the lights flicker, just once, like a warning. And though neither of them can see it, Salem already knows. Their love story is the next one on the chopping block. At Salem University Hospital, the night shift hums quietly, machines beeping, nurses whispering, secrets breathing behind every closed door. And in the middle of it all, Leo Stark creeps down a restricted corridor like a cat who knows exactly where the milk is hidden. He smirks as he snaps a picture of a confidential chart. "Oh, what have we here?" he mutters. Before he can take another step, a sharp voice cuts through the silence. "Really, Leo?" Javi Hernandez steps out from behind the nurse's station, arms crossed, his expression half amused, half exasperated. You never learn, do you? Leo flashes that trademark grin. Learn? I'm simply researching. Journalism at its finest. Research? Javi scoffs. You mean trespassing. Before Leo can reply, Amy Choi rounds the corner, her heels echoing, her fury unmistakable. You two again? She snaps. This is a hospital, not your personal stage show. Leo throws up his hands in mock innocence. Relax, Amy. I was just spreading a little compassion. Checking in on the suffering masses. Amy's glare sharpens to a knife's edge. You wouldn't recognize compassion if it bit you. Javi steps between them, voice firm. Enough. He's leaving. Leo straightens his jacket with a smirk. Fine. But if I were you, I'd keep an eye on this hallway. Secrets don't stay buried here, they just wait for better lighting. As he strolls off, Amy's anger fades into unease. Her hands tremble, and she glances toward the locked door Leo had been near. Because deep down, she knows he's right, and what he almost uncovered may not just be a scandal. It might be a time bomb. Under the golden glow of Salem Town Square, Alex Kuriakis and Stephanie Johnson meet again, drawn together not by love, but by unfinished business. The evening air carries the faint scent of rain, and the fountain nearby murmurs like a reminder of better days. Neither speaks at first. The silence between them feels heavier than their history. Finally, Alex breaks it. I was wrong, he says quietly. About Jeremy. About how I handled it, about everything. Stephanie folds her arms, her gaze cold but wounded. It's not about Jeremy, Alex. It never was. It's about trust. You don't just lose that once, you chip away at it until there's nothing left. He nods, guilt pooling in his eyes. I wanted to protect you. I thought. She cuts him off with a bitter laugh. You don't protect me, Alex. You control me. You decide what I can handle, what I should know. That's not love, it's fear. He swallows hard. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why does it always end this way? She asks softly, her voice breaking. For a long moment, they just stare at each other, two hearts tethered by memory, torn apart by pride. I loved you because you made me feel safe, Stephanie whispers. But now, safety feels like a cage. Alex's voice is barely audible. Do you ever think about us? She pauses, her eyes glistening. Every day. But that doesn't mean I want it back. When she turns to leave, the lights of the square flicker behind her, and Alex is left standing in the dim glow, surrounded by echoes of a love that's already gone cold. Because in Salem, heartbreak doesn't always explode. Sometimes, it just quietly haunts you. Night settles over Salem, cloaking the town in a thin mist, the kind of night that whispers more than it shows. The streets are quiet, but the silence feels staged, as if the entire town is holding its breath. Down by the pier, Sarah Horton stands alone. The moonlight reflects off the water, shimmering where her wedding ring used to catch the light. The imprint still marks her skin, faint but inescapable, like the memory of love that died trying to save itself. She exhales, her breath visible in the cold air. Freedom, she realizes, feels less like release, and more like grief. Across town, in her dimly lit office, Dr. Marlena Evans studies her notes. Rachel Black's handwriting fills the pages, fragmented words, broken thoughts, and one repeated name. The same name Sophia Choi murmured in her sleep hours earlier. Coincidence? Or connection? Marlena's hand trembles as she closes the file. Somewhere deep down, she knows the answer, and it terrifies her. Meanwhile, in the DiMera mansion, E.J. DiMera pours himself a drink. Amber liquid swirls in the glass as he smirks, satisfied with the illusion of control. But he doesn't see it yet, how his name is echoing through the hospital halls, across therapy rooms, even inside dreams. Because in Salem, no secret stays buried forever. It only waits until midnight. And when the clock strikes 12, Sophia Choi's eyes snap open. Her lips tremble as she gasps one word. Him. A name. A warning. A beginning. And just like that, the night resets. One truth burning, 1,000 lies waiting to ignite. And so, as the week draws to a close, Salem lies restless beneath the moonlight, a town too familiar with silence, too haunted by memory. The questions hang heavy in the air. Who is Rachel remembering? What name does Sophia keep whispering in her sleep? And how long before the Damaras lose control of the storm they built themselves? Love has cracked. Trust has shattered. Redemption feels more myth than promise. But this isn't the end. In Salem, endings are never endings. They're preludes, pauses before the next confession, the next betrayal, the next explosion. Because here, every heartbreak writes a new chapter. Every secret begs to be found. And every moment of peace is just a spark, waiting for oxygen. Next week, new alliances will rise from the ashes. Old grudges will return to finish what they started. And one truth will tear the town in two. Because in days of our lives, truth isn't peace. It's punishment. It's fire. And no matter how hard they try to contain it, Salem always burns.